Good morning and welcome to Frank's School. This is the 6th year, 147th day, the first video, and I'm Gloss now speaking. Gloss is is my own comment, the persona I take on when I'm commenting on my previous work. And I'll have more to say about that here in just a minute. This is Gloss from the first year, 159th day, first video, up through the 168th day, second video. And during that time, you see what I'm doing is I've been going back through and I've been taking my own course. I've been looking at the videos, seeing if there's corrections I should make or improvements or comments or what. And for the most part, there's not very much. I mean, I taught that material so many times over such a long period of time. I had plenty of time to tweak it. That took me up to the end of the Victorian period, what I call the Victorian period, as I lump everything together. I was talking about the Swiss book Heidi in terms of classics that came from the period at that time. Now, comments about it, mostly I go so fast. I'm going so fast through that material. And I'm aware of that. You could easily say I'm going way too fast. Yeah, it could be. Now it's easy for me and exciting in a way because so many of the works or artists or writers or whatever that I talk about, they're like old friends of mine. I know them well and I'm real happy to introduce them to you. I'm also very much aware of a 180-day school year. Not so much now. I mean, I'm getting up there. I'll think about the end of the 6th year here, probably eventually. But at the start, I didn't even know I was going to do it more than 1 year. And I wanted to make sure that I got everything within 180 days. Now, mainly what I'm stopping for, why I'm stopping for now, is because there's this, if you go through the videos sort of in order, there's this grand pause, I call it. A grand pause is, I'm borrowing the term from music, Baroque music, Handel, for example, at the end of Messiah, of silence before you get to the very end, a grand pause, musical term. Well, I make a grand pause for travel because in that year, June, it was in June 2012, well, the end of May, I think it was, I went off to Europe, and I take quite a few videos to talk about that trip. The planning of it, the doing of it, getting back, and it interrupts the flow of the chronological survey. But then I get back to it. And that's where I'm now going to start up as Gloss. I'm going to pick the story up in the 20th century and take it to the end as I view this stuff. So I'm gonna skip the stuff about the travel as I look at it, as I review this stuff right now. Later on, I'll look at it again. In a sense, I already have been looking at that trip again. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to if you want. There's that trip, and then I also teach German. I introduce a little bit of German. I teach some English for German speakers, which is very embarrassing. All that stuff, though, would not have to be within the curriculum of the chronological survey of the humanities for 7th or 8th graders. Now, my sanity. I had a comment. I thought it was kind of funny in a way that somebody commented recently. Said, I worry about your sanity. Because I've divided my personality, for one thing, into, I talk about Wedge. Well, he's a fictitious character, but he's a part of my personality in a sense, the talker, you might say me right now. There's Marion, he's part of my personality, he doesn't say a word. These are fictitious characters, but they're based on me. That has to do with what hands do, with what you actually do and you make it without words. There's Gloss, I'm Gloss at the moment, representing Gloss. As I go back through and look at this kind of stuff, I've created this is different. Words is a subject. Anyway, when he was looking at all this stuff, and probably also because my material is so varied, as I'll teach about wood or what's going on outside, or I jump around so much. He says, he or she, I don't know. said, I worry about your sanity. And the other thing too was the fact that I refer to myself in the third person. When I describe a video, I say, Frank does this. I know what he means. I'll say he. I know what he means by that. I decided to do that very, very early, though, all the way 6 years ago. This isn't my school. This is Frank's school. And for some reason or other, I decided I should probably, as I describe it, talk about what Frank does in Frank's school. Somebody else could then talk about what, I don't know. But anyway, I know what he means. You know, I use the third person as I do that. Oh, well. Yeah, another thing, too, I was going to say, I've got 5 languages in my head that I can speak and or understand. And on a daily basis, I chat in German. Then I come over to English. And it could be one of the reasons that I almost have a fear of launching into Portuguese, which I have. If you look at the 7th year, you know, there's about 10 videos there where I'm speaking Portuguese. And I'm about to do that again. And I wonder, I don't know, that's maybe the last thing I need for this poor old fried brain of mine. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. My answer is I think I'm okay. I think I'll be all right. And actually, I think it helps me to sort this out a little bit. All right, bye for now.